All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our NHL video here today for Wednesday, May 19th. My name is Brock Page and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally here today, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. Now we're coming fresh off our second straight winning day in a row on my Patreon website yesterday. And that's going to put us at 4-0 in our last four $1.99 daily best plays on that Patreon page. And once again, if you want to access today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. Now we also improved to 7-3 with a push in our last 11 board member tier package picks on that Patreon site as well. And the good news is this: we have another board member tier package pick going off here tonight. We currently have over 1,205 members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, the link for that page is in the description section below. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into some NHL action. Just a heads up, there's going to be no NBA free video here today. Both of those games we're actually using as premium selections on Patreon. So no NBA video here today. But let's go ahead and dive into some NHL action. We're going to start with the Canucks taking on the Flames. 3:30 p.m. Eastern puck drop. The Calgary Flames are -165, total 6. Jake Markstrom in the net for the Flames. Braden Holtby for Vancouver. Now Holtby's gotten the W in just 7 of 17 starts this season. Comes into today's contest with a .355 goals against average and an .894 save percentage. The Canucks are in the bottom 3 in the league in shots allowed on the road, bottom 5 in road goals allowed as well. And out of Vancouver's 27 road games, they've successfully cashed in on the puck line in just 37% of those contests. They're taking on a Calgary squad who's got a winning home record thus far in the year. The Flames are also in the top 5 in home shots allowed. Jacob Markstrom comes into today's start with a .267 goals against average and a .904 save percentage. Now total-wise, Calgary's 16-11 to the over at the Saddle Dome. I'm going to lean toward the Calgary Flames -165 in the over 6 goals. Next contest, Capitals versus the Bruins, 6:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Boston Bruins are -175, numbers 5.5. Tuukka Rask for the Bruins, Craig Anderson for Washington. Now, Anderson's had limited action thus far in the year, although he does come into today's matchup with a .213 goals against average and a .915 save percentage. The Caps are also 19-9 when they travel, and they cashed in on the puck line in 61% of those road games. Alex Ovechkin led the club with 24 regular season goals, 18 assists, 42 total points for the left winger. Meanwhile, TJ Oshie scored 22 times himself in the regular season, 21 assists as well for Oshie. Washington currently leads the NHL in road scoring. Now they're taking on a Boston team who lost 4 out of their last 7, and they struggled to cash in on the puck line at the Garden this season. Boston is just 12-16 against the number at home, and that's good for just 42% in that particular category. Boston is currently down 2-1 in this series, and they scored 3 goals or less in 5 out of their last 8 outings. Now, total-wise, 6 out of these teams' last 9 meetings got over the posted number. Meanwhile, Washington is officially 19-9 to the over away from their home ice. I'm going to lean toward the Washington Capitals +1.5. in the over 5.5 goals. Next contest, Preds, Canes, 8 o'clock East. The Carolina Hurricanes are -$2, totals 5.5, juice to the under. Alex Nedeljkovic for the Canes, Juuse Saros for Nashville. And despite the mediocrity from this Nashville team, Saros has certainly had himself a solid year. The 26-year-old netminder has 21 wins in 35 starts this year. He also comes into today's contest with a .228 goals against average and a .927 save percentage. Now, the Preds do have a winning record against the number on the road this year. They've also gotten the W in 6 out of their last 9 contests. They're taking on a Carolina club who lost 3 out of their last 4, and they scored just 2 total goals in those 3 defeats. The Canes were also in the bottom 10 in the NHL in first period scoring. And when it comes to the number in this one, 5 out of Carolina's last 9 did get over the total of 5.5 goals, throwing out game 2 of this very series. Meanwhile, the Predators are 16-13 the over away from Nashville. I'm going to lean toward the Nashville Predators plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. Next game, Jets, Oilers, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Edmonton Oilers are minus 155, total 6, juice to the under. Mike Smith for the Oilers, Connor Hellebuyck for Winnipeg. Now, Hellebuck's got himself 24 wins on the year, 258 goals against average, 916 save percentage. The Jets have been pretty good on the road all season long. They're 17-11 straight up as the road team. And they successfully cashed it on the puck line in over 71% of those contests. The Jets are also allowing just 2.5 goals per contest when they travel. They're taking on an Edmonton team who cashed in on the puck line in just 39% of their home games. The Oilers are also in the bottom 10 in the league in home goals allowed, bottom 3 in first period goals allowed at home as well. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Edmonton's last 9 meetings with Winnipeg got over the posted total. The Jets are also 16-12 to the over away from their home ice. I'm going to lean toward the Winnipeg Jets plus 1.5 and the over 6 goals. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Blues versus the Avalanche, 10:30 p.m. Eastern puck drop. The Colorado Avalanche are minus 330, numbers 5.5. Phil Grubauer for the Avs, Jordan Binnington for the Blues. Now, St. Louis is cashing on the puck line in just 41% of their road games. They're also in the bottom 3 in the NHL in offensive shots on goal on the road. In addition to that, they're in the bottom 10 in third period scoring on the road as well. They're taking on a Colorado club who's 23-6 straight up on their home ice. The Avalanche currently lead the NHL in offensive shots on goal, first in scoring on average per game. Mikko Rantanen had 30 regular season goals this year, 66 total points, and a plus 30 when he was on the ice. Meanwhile, Nate McKinnon scored 20 times in the regular season himself, 45 total assists for the center. Colorado is currently on a 6-game winning streak. They also got the W in 9 out of their last 10 contests. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Colorado's last 3 outings got over the total of 5.5 goals. They also lead the NHL in home scoring. I'm going to lean toward the Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my Patreon website. I like Calgary minus 165 over 6 goals. Washington plus 1.5 over 5.5. Nashville plus 1.5 over 5.5 goals. Winnipeg plus 1.5 over 6. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 4-0 in our last 4 $1.99 daily best plays on my Patreon website. We're also 7-3 with a push in our last 11 board member tier package picks on that Patreon page as well. I'm going to lean toward the Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. And with that, now it's time for our YouTube shout-outs. Shout out to Elliot Nelson, Pitts Picks, Gerald Pubglaski. Shout out to Incognito Gaming, Charles Garrity, Max S. from Ukraine, Gino Estep. Shout out to Steph Reacts, Tremaine Jordan. And last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my good man, Chris Tucker. Incredible actor, by the way. Loved him in Rush Hour with, Jackie Chan, I believe. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.